First, let me say that I'm happy to speak in front of you, but I'm also disappointed at the same time. I'm disappointed because the youth of this country have said that they are leaders. Let me ask you once more. The youth of our country, are you leaders? Okay. Let me ask it in a different way. Ninyi wenye mko hapa, are you leaders? You are leaders yourselves, isn't it? Now, I'm disappointed because you are the reason we have bad governance. And I have forgiven you. And I have forgiven myself because I am part of the problem. One of the problems that we are trying to fight in our country is the politics of tokenism. When I do that imitation of our president, essentially what he does to us is weaponize the incompetence and tokenism. He comes to a place, let's say here, Kamano, he promises what is yours by right. You pay taxes. You deserve development. Why does he have to promise you for you to get it? Why do you have to sing praises of the president before your region can get development? Why do our members of parliament have to say that I have to work with the president for me to get development to my region? Why don't we behave that way when we are paying taxes? So the people who support the president pay taxes, and those who do not support bad governance and corruption, we don't pay. We have to finish the politics of tokenism. And you, the youth, you have to lead the way. But you've disappointed me today. Because mumekubali kitu kidogo kidogo. Hata saa hii, kwani ya mkubwa, si tulikuwa na nyinyi hapa. Ukikimbia kitu kama sio nyinyi. Si nyinyi. Ukienda kuchukua kitu kidogo. Let me ask you, you put a new pressure on politicians in such a way that you've commercialized our politics to the extent that the person who has the highest amount of money is the one that can make the political leadership. The danger of commercialization of our politics is that you deny opportunities to people who are deserving. So when you make it an imperative that a politician is not going to sell his policies to you because hajatoa kitu, then when do you expect me, Morara, to be a leader in this country? Now, my fellow youth, I've stopped blaming you. Now I want to give you the way forward. There are only two ways. One, civic education. Before you educate a fellow youth, you need to educate yourself first. You need to understand what is the problem bedeviling our nation. Once you understand that problem, dishonesty, corruption, incompetence, tribalism, nepotism, primitive acquisition of wealth. Once you understand it, you can communicate it, even to the villages. I have walked around this country. So far, I've gone to 24 counties. I can tell you that this conversation we are having now, people are having it in the villages. People are talking about where they went wrong on issues of governance. The first thing that we went wrong is the commercialization of our politics. The second thing is we are living a lie. Kenya is a crime scene. It needs to be fenced off for investigations. There is nowhere where there is no theft of public funds. People are primitively acquiring even what they don't need. You go to Devki Kinani Road, allocated 1.78 billion Kenya shillings. A contractor has already been paid 238 million Kenya shillings. He is certified to be paid 456 million. But there is nothing except dust and desperation. You go to Ngong Sports Complex, allocated 168 million. Contractor already paid 50 million. Nothing but a perimeter wall. Yesterday, I was in Makueni County. Kee Nunguni Road. Katua Kee Nunguni Road. Allocated 362 million. A contractor already paid 255 million. And there is nothing that resembles a road. I went to Kilungu Dispensary, where 25 million of public funds has been spent and there is no KMTC, Kilungu KMTC. Thwake Dam, you keep talking about pending bills. And the argument I've been making is that pending bills is a manner and a style of looting public funds. Because explain to me, like a 2-year-old, why the contractor at Thwake Dam in Makueni County was paid an extra of 256 million Kenya shillings for late payment. Tulikuchelewesha takuongeza 256 million. You go to Garissa, Nuno Modogashe Road. That road, a contractor has been added 525 million out of nowhere. It is not a variation in the bill of quantities. It is not a change in the design of the road. That is why I'm telling you, Kenya is a crime scene. You go to e-Citizen, 15 billion Kenya shillings collected on e-Citizen. A whole treasury that we fund with public money cannot confirm or deny whether they have the 15 billion. Treasury is a crime scene. 12.5 billion Kenya shillings withdrawn from our treasury, apparently to buy shares at the Africa Trade and Development Bank and the Africa Exim Bank and Jamhuri Holdings in the name of Telco. 12.5 billion withdrawn from treasury like pocket money and stolen by these criminals who are purporting to be leaders leading this nation. Meanwhile, as they are looting our public funds, they are primitively acquiring property that they don't need. I want to speak to our leaders today and tell them, that it doesn't matter how many houses you own. Even if you have a house in Nairobi, another one in Mombasa, another one in Dubai, another one in Brussels in Belgium, and another one in Luxembourg, you can only sleep on one bed. And it is the Lord our God Almighty who provides sleep. And in this country, there will be no sleep for the wicked. I was prophesying. Would you like
There is no way we're going to talk about a government that is not, executing its mandate, that we are not capable of executing the mandate right here. We cannot tell that they are stealing at regular time.
The organizers of the event are the first people who stole our time.
Yeah.
This event was supposed to begin at 2, right?
Exactly.
It's here at 1:59. Yeah. I waited till 3 for the event to begin. Yeah. Now, this is what I'm saying. This country is a crime scene. We need to fence it off for investigations. Can you explain to me how the Ministry of Energy spent 1.4 million on an interview to look for an accountant and still did not find an accountant? They have a boardroom at the ministry, they have a HR paid by public funds, a deputy HR, but they still spent 1.4 million on an interview. President William Ruto went to Morara Kigumo constituency to launch Ikumbi Road. Ken have paid a contractor 1.4 million to set up a tent where the president will be showing barabara itatoka hapa itaenda hivi. To date there is no road. Why should we spend public funds to launch a project? 2.5 billion Kenya shillings coming from the Hungary Exim Bank, supposed to build Kabonyo, Kanyagwan, fisheries and aquaculture. And to date, there is only a tombstone written His Excellency Dr. William Ruto. This country is a crime scene. Medical equipment meant for level 4 hospitals, budgeted corruption, Kenya shillings 3 billion. And to date, there is no equipment in any of those hospitals that were budgeted for, and the money is not there. You go to Bogoria Silali Geothermal project. This project is funded by the Germany Development Bank. A public officer who is not in jail took 17.9 million Kenya shillings and put in his private account to earn interest. In this same country that we live in, where comrades are struggling to pay fees, where JSS teachers have been lied to that we've set aside 18.7 billion to pay you. To teach our children, they're being paid 17,000 Kenya shillings. In this same country where public service commission interns, 25,000 of them, are hanging in internship. I want to ask you, comrades, we are building a country that has no opportunities for you. And these incompetent people are very willing to ship you out to other countries to go build other countries, instead of creating opportunities here. How many youth can go to work abroad? When we leave the old in our country, how will they build the country? Which president in his right mind ships off the most brilliant and energetic part of his population? He has a pet project called Housing Fund, housing program, which he says will create 160,000 jobs. Remember, these jobs are temporary. Mjengo ikiisha mnaondoka. How affordable is the affordable housing? It is not affordable because a bed sitter costs 1.79 million Kenya shillings in Kirinyaga housing program. How many of you can afford a bed sitter for 1.79 million? And how many of you would like to buy it in Kirinyaga? Yesterday I was in Wote. Next to Wote, where they've already stolen public funds, they now want to build a housing program. Next to a housing program that they spent 2 billion Kenya shillings, where snakes live inside. They don't want to renovate that one, they want to build one which they are looting public funds. Let me tell you this. Corruption does not respect gender. It is not synonymous to men or to women. Corruption does not respect age. We can have a young corrupt president. We can have a young corrupt governor. So even as we speak about youth inclusion, we should think about integrity of the youth that hold leadership positions in our country. Because some of the people that have been a problem to our country in terms of corruption are young. The chairman of Parliament is young. These people who show opulence by stealing public funds, they are young. As I wind up, let me tell you this. We are passionate about changing our country. And we need to do it. But there's only one problem. I cannot do it alone. I need you. And you. And you. Even you. Oh, I know even you. Oh, even the one at the back. I need you. You don't have to have 100,000 followers. Your family members, your brother, your sister. During your date with your girlfriend, set aside 5 minutes to talk about bad governance and corruption in our country. Change begins with you. Arm yourself with information, and we will change our country. Thank you so much, and God bless.